right?
No,
Face
man.
this way.
Go ahead.
Good evening to you all. My name is Prescott Smith, and I flew in from the island of Andros. I don't make any apologies for being a nationalist. I don't see boundaries. I don't see islands. I remember going to Hawksbill Primary when I was a child. My grandmother came from, I think, Bevanstown. She was a Bevans, so I got a lot of relatives in Grand Bahama. But I listened to you gentlemen talk about water tables and all of that. I've been to every island in the Bahamas, not once or twice. I've circled around the entire Bahamas more than 15 times. So many of you probably wonder what kind of career I've had. I might look 20, but I'm much older than that. My family, we have 3 resorts, and I go all over the Bahamas trying to train Bahamians and empower them so they become owners using their natural environment. The information I'm going to share with you, I presented it to the entire cabinet of the Bahamas several times. Every time I go into the schools and at the college, the students say that the Bahamas have sun, sand, and sea. A female astronaut was on my boat, and she said that, Prescott, the U.S. government always knew that you had the largest tropical nursery system in the world. So during the time I spent in the Defense Force, I often wonder why the Dominicans and the Hondurans and the Cubans and the Americans are all poaching in our waters. Now, why am I in Grand Bahama? I have never met so much hostility trying to ask a few questions here, because people just thought that I come to focus on Bahama Rock. I look at Grand Bahama from Google Earth and I see that you've cut straight through the island. You've destroyed billions of gallons of your freshwater lands. But Grand Bahama have the 2nd largest nursery system in this country, which means the north side of Grand Bahama is where all the mangroves are that replenish the Little Bahama Bank. So the depletion of your freshwater lands has implications much more than just in our community. It affects your marine life. If you pull the fresh water from under the trees that need it to drink, then your forests start to die on you. And Grand Bahama only have forests, like 3 other islands, because you are facing in a direction with the prevailing winds from the east, southeast. That's why you only have 4 islands with pine forests. So I listen to the geologists, but you don't know about the Bahamas like I do, because I'm passionate about the Bahamas. I understand freshwater lands. I study this every day of my life. My career takes me each and every day. This is my life. And I see the effects of pulling salt water into the freshwater lands. I know what happens to the marine life when you extract the red mangroves, where the lobsters breed into the root, and the fish and everything else. This is not about your company. Many Bahamians also, unfortunately, have an attitude thinking about today. I care about every Bahamian in this room. I look at their children, because I can tell you, from going into Bimini, many of them, they can say, turn the lights off because the damage is done. I look at what has happened in Exuma, where 4 seasons destroyed the major freshwater lands on Exuma, and now the resort is up for sale. So what are the people going to do in Exuma when they could have gone to the well and get the fresh water? But it's also what's happening to their marine life. It's also what's happening to the little lady who catches the snapper off the rock and is not there anymore. I came Grand Bahama because I'm concerned about you. If you have the 2nd largest nursery system in the Bahamas, as I boarded boats on the Great Bahama Bank, on the Little Bahama Bank, if the marine resources collapse around Grand Bahama, it affects the entire Bahamas. Grand Bahama, on the south side, already have about 8 places cut into the interior. You already cut up through this island, and as a matter of fact, you all need to look on Google Earth and see that this entire island has been mapped out to dredge already. These guys may not tell you this, but this is public information. Look on Google Earth and pull in Grand Bahama. and it's already been mapped out to cut straight through. So what are you going to do when the salt water hits on the east end? And then what are you going to say to the rest of the Bahamian when we're trusting you with the second largest nursery system in this country? What are you going to say to your children when at the end of the day, the gentlemen who work at the company, I'm concerned about your work, but I also know that you have the talent that we can survive. If this company is that concerned about you, if this company is that concerned about you,